Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the story of how I came to question one of the most enduring linguistic myths of modern India, a myth crafted and exported by European Indologists, and tragically adopted by many Indian scholars under colonial influence. That myth says, Sanskrit is a language of foreign origin, brought to India from the Eurasian steppes. Tamil and Sanskrit are fundamentally unrelated, one being Dravidian, the other Indo-European, and that these language families reflect racial differences. Aryans came from the steppes, brought Sanskrit and inhabited the north, and chased away the Dravidians to the south. But what if this entire linguistic classification is not a scientific fact, but a colonial construction? To understand this, we must see the Aryan Invasion Theory and the Indo-European language family theory not as neutral academic hypotheses, but as tools of empire. The British Empire, in its effort to divide and rule India, invested heavily in philology, the study of languages, through its missionaries, government-funded linguists, and Indologists. Scholars like Max Muller, William Jones, and Friedrich Schlegel, though framed as objective researchers, were often aligned with religious institutions and colonial goals. As historian Thomas Trautmann notes, the very discipline of comparative linguistics emerged from the colonial need to classify and racialize populations. How did they fabricate the divide? The Europeans' linguists classified Sanskrit as part of the Indo-European family, a vast family that conveniently included the European languages and created the Dravidian family of languages. Tamil was then labeled as Dravidian, together with other South Indian languages. They created this divide, not just linguistically, but racially and culturally, placing Tamil in opposition to Sanskrit. The differences were magnified. This wasn't simply academic. It was a linguistic invasion, one that split India along north-south Aryan Dravidian lines, division that has had devastating political and cultural consequences till today. But Indian scholars did not always accept this imposed framework. Before colonialism, Sanskrit and Tamil coexisted, not as rivals, but as members of the same family, each rooted in India's spiritual and cultural life. There was no natural divide between them. Take Subramanya Dixitar, one of the foremost Tamil and Sanskrit scholar. He saw more similarities between these two languages. The differences, according to him, are superficial and can be overlooked. Critically cautioned against the exaggerated claims of separation between Sanskrit and Tamil, highlighting the shared grammatical structures and semantic parallels, and insisting that any apparent divergence was often overstated. This is a photo shoot of his book. All these before the European Indologists came into scene and changed the whole narrative. Another scholar, Sri Aurobindo, philosopher and yogi, offered rigorous critique, writing as follows. The legend of the Aryan invasion is, to me, a philological myth. I find in the Aryan and Dravidian tongues two branches of a single stock, he further stated. There is no sound historical basis for the Aryan invasion theory. Sanskrit is as native to India as Tamil is. And in a broader indictment of modern scholarship, he warned, so great is the force of attractive generalizations and widely popularized errors that all the world goes on perpetuating the blunder. Talking of the Indo-European races, claiming or disclaiming Aryan kinship and building on that basis of falsehood the most far-reaching political, social, or pseudo-scientific conclusions. Even the great Tolkappiyar, author of the Tolkappiyam, the oldest extant Tamil grammar, describes Tamil phrenology and grammar using principles of hermeneutic logic, did not see Sanskrit as alien, and there was no animosity. He called Sanskrit words as Vada soul, meaning northern words. Sanskrit was not seen as an outsider, and he laid rules for including Sanskrit words in Tamil. Then came the 20th century, when a profound discovery in the field of linguistics was made. One that would not only change our understanding of both Sanskrit and Tamil, but also the whole human civilization. In the coming years, as we make this discovery known to the world, we are hoping to see more research going into this direction to establish this discovery. Professor Sathasivam of Sri Lanka, an Oxford qualified linguist, saw the link between Sumerian and Tamil. Ullaganar, a philosopher, thinker, and hermeneutic scientist, along with Dr. Sivakumar Ramakrishnan of University Science Malaysia, saw the same, and they conducted extensive comparative research across Tamil, Sanskrit, and Sumerian. And what's their landmark discovery? They discovered that Sumerian, the first known human civilization, is actually an archaic form of Tamil, and Sanskrit is an offshoot of Sumerian Tamil, and the origin of this Tamil is none other than Kumari. Therefore, Sanskrit is as Indian as Tamil, and not an outside language. Please do not jump into the conclusion and label the research findings of Ullaganar and Sivakumar as another voice of Tamil chauvinism. This is the voice of deep, rigorous scholarship, well-grounded in comparative linguistics, phonemic analysis, historical grammar, and hermeneutic logic. See, the Western world uses a research methodology called constructive linguistics to understand the history of languages. Ullaganar and Sivakumar devised a new research methodology called Tamil evolutionary linguistics. Based on Tolkappiyar Aurobindo and Devanir Pavanar, this methodology is far more advanced and scientific compared to the Western methodology. Let us not underrate the wisdom of our homegrown forefathers, the European Indologists, by labeling Sanskrit as Indo-European, effectively separated a daughter from her mother, uprooting Sanskrit from its Tamil foundations and giving it a false European genealogy. Today the consequences are clear: divided India, cultural alienation, confusion about identity and origin. It is time to reverse this. And it is time for serious independent research into Sumerian Tamil and their relationship to Sanskrit. Another point is that the date agreed upon by most scholars of Rig Veda, which is written in Rigrit, the ancient language also known as Vedic Sanskrit, is around 1500 BC. This date predates Tamil, the oldest being Tolkappiyam, dated around 600 BC, comparing this to dates. It makes sense to claim that Sanskrit predates Tamil. Now, with the discovery that Sumerian, dated around 4000 BC, which is an archaic form of Tamil, the whole paradigm shifts. With this discovery, we are confidently claiming that Sanskrit came after Tamil. Bearing in mind, our claim is not only based on the dates on which came earlier and which came later.
Ow!
Our claim is also based on deep research on the base structure of Rigrit. I will give more evidence on this in my coming videos. Let the eldest daughter Sanskrit return to her mother Tamil. Sanskrit is probably the mother of European languages, and let it be so. We have no qualms over that. Let us reclaim the true history of our languages through objective research. Thanks for watching. Let the seeking of truth resonate within us. I am Aryan Invasion Theory, signing off for now.